Hello students, how are you? How was learning today? We see freshman anthropology midday exam. Are you ready? Okay, let us continue. Part 1, write true if the statement is correct and false if it is not. 1 PT each. 1. Knowing anthropology is very helpful to fight against cultural differences. The answer is true. 2. The idea of cultural relativism in anthropology does not compromise human right violence such as violence against women, torture, and genocide. The answer is true. Cultural relativism does not mean accepting human rights violations. Anthropologists distinguish between respecting cultural differences and condemning practices like torture or genocide. 3. There is time and place that human beings lived which is out of the scope of anthropology. The answer is false. Anthropology studies all human societies across all time periods and places. Nothing human is outside its scope. 4. Some would trace anthropology to the European Enlightenment, but there is no stand to trace with the First World War. The answer is false. Anthropology is often traced to the European Enlightenment, and the First World War also influenced its development, e.g., British functionalism. The statement says there is no stand to trace with the First World War, which is incorrect. 5. The advent of anthropological approach, which is called ethnography, precedes ethnology. The answer is true. Ethnography, fieldwork-based description, preceded ethnology, comparative analysis of cultures. 6. A belief that one's own culture is superior to others' cultural, social, and material life is called ethnocentrism. The answer is true. That is the definition of ethnocentrism. 7. Most societies' expectation of their members to respect elders expresses folkways. The answer is false. Statement: most societies' expectation of their members to respect elders expresses folkways. Part 2, choose the appropriate answer from the given alternatives. 1.5 PTS each. 8. Anthropological studies often give attention to how a particular group of people explain about their action or give meaning to their behavior or cultural practices. Which basic approach of anthropology is directly appropriate with this idea? A. Holistic. B. Relativism. C. Comparative. D. Broad scope. Correct answer is B. Relativism. The question emphasizes understanding how a particular group of people explain their actions and give meaning to their behavior or cultural practices. This directly refers to cultural relativism, the anthropological approach that seeks to understand cultural practices from the perspective of the people within that culture, rather than judging them by external standards. 9. Culture includes all of the man-made objects, ideas, activities, whether those of traditional, old-time things of the past or those modern technological products. This sentence tells us about one of the following characteristics of culture. A sentence tells us about one of the following characteristics of culture. A. Integrated. B. Adaptive. C. Dynamic. D. All-encompassing. Correct answer, D. All-encompassing. The description covers traditional and modern objects, ideas, and activities, illustrating culture's all-encompassing nature. 10. Suppose that Ethiopian people who live around the western border have some elements of Sudanese culture as the Sudan people have also some elements of Ethiopia's culture exchanged through direct contact in marketplaces. Which type of culture change mechanism is it? A. Acculturation. B. Direct diffusion. C. Indirect diffusion. D. None. Correct answer, B. Direct diffusion. The exchange happens through direct contact marketplaces, so it's direct diffusion. 11. Which one of the following is not the main focus of anthropology as a discipline? A. Its investigation about living strategies of people. B. Its analysis about material and non-material social products. C. Its study about human embryo within a womb. D. Its examination about the biological differences of people lives in different environment. Correct answer, C. Its study about human embryo within a womb. Human embryonic development is primarily the focus of embryology, not anthropology. Anthropology studies human biology in evolutionary and sociocultural context, but not embryogenesis as a core focus. 12. While studying marriage, anthropologists may try to discover how marriage is related with or affected by the political, economic, health, and religious systems of the community. This indicates the nature of anthropology. A. Emic. B. Comparative. C. Holistic. D. Relativistic. Correct answer: C. Holistic. The holistic approach in anthropology looks at the big picture and how different aspects of a society, religion, economy, etc. are interconnected. 13. Which one of the following is not the major concern of biological anthropology? A. Natural selection. B. Way of life of past societies. C. Biological evolution. D. Contemporary physiological variations. Correct answer: B. Way of life of past societies. The way of life of past societies is the primary focus of archaeology, not biological anthropology. 14. Which branch of linguistic anthropology is more interested to study how English is used by African Americans, Latinos, religious leaders, and politicians differently? A. Sociolinguistic. B. Ethnolinguistic. C. Historical linguistic. D. Structural linguistics. Correct answer: A. Sociolinguistic. Sociolinguistics studies the relationship between language and social factors like race, ethnicity, and profession. 15. The following statements are true about the misconceptions of anthropology except: A. Anthropologists only study the rural people and rural areas. B. Anthropology preserves societies far from technological development. C. Anthropologists' focus is limited to the study of primitive societies. D. Early anthropologists' focus was on non-industrialized societies. Correct answer: D. Early anthropologists' focus was on non-industrialized societies. This statement is actually a fact about the history of the discipline, not a common misconception. Options A, B, and C are common myths about what anthropologists do today. 16. The grammatical rule of English requires such components as noun, verb, and object respectively to form a single sentence. Such rules of a language is addressed under a subspecialized area of linguistic anthropology called structural linguistics. B. Historical linguistics. C. Ethnolinguistics. D. Sociolinguistics. Correct answer: A. Structural linguistics. Structural or formal linguistics deals with the internal mechanics and rules, syntax, grammar of how a language is built. 17. According to Tyler, one of the following could not be part of culture: A. The Constitution of America. B. A unique behavior of an individual. C. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. D. None. Correct answer: B. A unique behavior of an individual. Edward B. Tyler defined culture as a complex whole acquired by man as a member of society. Individual quirks that are not shared or learned socially are not considered culture. Part 3. Match the items in column A with items in column B, 1 pt. each. Column A. 18. Misconception about anthropology. 19. Basic feature of anthropology. 20. Artifact. 21. Archaeological feature. 22. Beliefs. Column B. A. The Maria Theresa Thaler. B. Local or microsocial processes. C. Animal fossil remains. D. Limited to the study of fossil remains. E. Values. F. The churches of Lalibela. G. Tool for development. H. Cultural conventions. The answers are for misconception about anthropology. D. Limited to the study of fossil remains. For basic feature of anthropology, B. Local or microsocial processes. For artifact of the Maria Theresa Thaler. For archaeological feature, F. The churches of Lalibela. For beliefs, H. Cultural conventions. Part 4. Fill the blank space with appropriate word, 1 pt. For each. 23. Blank shows the presence of cultural traits that occur in many societies, but not all of them. The correct answer is cultural generalities in anthropology. Generalities are cultural traits that occur in many societies, but not in all of them, unlike universals, which occur in all. 24. Blank is comparative study and analysis of different ethnic groups across time and space. The correct answer is ethnology. While ethnography is the study of one specific group, ethnology is the comparative and analytical study of different ethnic groups and differences. 25. Blank is a study of the anatomy and social behavior of non-human primate species to gain clues to human evolution as a species. The correct answer is primatology. Primatology is the subfield that studies non-human primates, like apes and monkeys, to better understand our own evolutionary history. This is all about today's video. Don't forget that like and subscribe. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.